Today on the Becoming Unique podcast, I have such a beautiful and amazing guest by the name of Ebony. Hey.
Hello.
Hey there. So, Ebony, you are going to have to tell us who is Ebony so everyone knows who you are before we get this show started.
Okay, so hi, my name is Ebony. I am a human design reader and coach, and I'm a 3/5 manifesting generator. And I have been coaching for a while, but it wasn't until I found human design when I was like, oh yes, this is what I want to bring to the world. This is how I want to help people reclaim their power and create amazing lives and just feel very free and fulfilled in their lives. This is what I want to do. This was one for me. Thank you, check, yes. So I wanted to create something where I could just spread the message that you are so powerful. You are so powerful. You have the ability to create anything and everything that you want. So then I was like, well, got to go on YouTube and got to do the Instagram and the TikTok and everything. So yeah, that's really a lot of what I stand for, is just helping people see how powerful they are.
Yeah, so beautiful. So for the newbies to human design, maybe like confused, what do you mean you're a 3/5 manifesting generator? We're probably talking a foreign language from out the door. So this is why it's so important that you stay through this whole episode, because human design is exactly what it is in the title of it. Human design is about your personal instruction book for your personal lives. So it's life-changing once you understand your human design. I could say that for myself, because when I got my little miniature reading, it wasn't even a full reading. It was just like a miniature reading. It just brought so much understanding to the way I am, because and this also has to do with self-esteem and self-care and self-love. I'm thinking I'm not showing up in the world as the world is telling me to show up. But once I understood my human design, it made it clear I'm not supposed to show up as the world's telling me to show up. I'm supposed to show up as I am designed. So I can't wait for Ebony to go ahead and start giving us the tea. So she said she's a 3/5 manifesting generator. I'm a 2/4 projector. So we're two completely different people. So if we went into a world trying to be, if I went to a world trying to be her, it's not going to match. It's not going to work out. It's kind of like also like sugar and salt. They may look alike, but they're completely different. Yes. And that's why it's so important. So we're going to dig into human design a tiny bit, but at the end of this show, definitely stay tuned. So Ebony will give you all her contact information, because then you're going to definitely want to open the door up for your personal profile. But this season on the Becoming Unique podcast, I'm asking all my guests a question that doesn't necessarily have to do with the topic we're talking about. And the question that I have for you is, what is the question? Tell us something that brings a smile to your face.
Something that brings a smile to my dance. Dance. I love to dance. I've been dancing since I was two or three. And it's still something that, even if I'm doing it badly, there's a few styles that are not in my wheelhouse per se. But I take a lot of classes throughout the week. So even if I'm not getting the choreography just so, I'm just like, I'm having fun. I'm still gonna do it. Y'all still gotta watch me because I'm in group 1.
Yes.
That's my thing.
Yeah, and even when you were saying that, you were smiling and you had your eyes closed. And when you close your eyes, you are in that next level.
You're feeling it.
You're feeling it. Yes, it's in the heart. You were feeling it. So, and that's so beautiful. And now I want to turn the question over to the audience. Take a moment this week and really think about what brings a smile to your face. And this would be an amazing journaling prompt for you as well, too. And this is beautiful with being in tune with your personal human design. So the question of the day is, what the heck is human design?
So human design is a spiritual system that essentially shows you how you are best meant to operate in the world. Because our society has this structure, this umbrella that says, this is how you do the thing to get this. This is how you make money. This is how you start a business. This is how you raise a family. This is how you have a healthy relationship. And the fact is that we are all different. So the way that someone else creates, a successful business may not be the same way that someone else creates a successful business, right? The way that someone else is in a relationship is not going to be the same way that someone else operates in a relationship. So human design is the science of differentiation. That's actually what it was called by the founder, the creator, Ra-Uru Rahu. It's the science of differentiation. It literally shows us how different we all are at the core. Like at the moment we were born, before all the conditioning, before people, saddled us with their beliefs and their perspectives and their opinions, who we were at the moment we were born is our most authentic self, our most authentic way of being and operating. And human design and even Gene Keys brings us back to that place, to who we actually are at the core, so we can start to use our energy in more aligned ways.
I like the last thing you just said. Everything you said was beautiful, but how we can use our energy in aligned ways. So, a lot of us have experienced those parts of our lives where we're like knocking and pushing and trying to go down a certain path, and it's just not working for us. And then and for me, like, if I get bitter, I know I'm not in my alignment. Because for that, and this is just for my particular design, because I'm trying to live a life that's not for me, and then it's going to bring a bitterness within me. And so a lot of us may be walking around not just being frustrated and bitter, because we're trying to go down a certain path. But once we understand the path that was aligned for us, and we understand how to make that shift, woo, child, we get to see the difference. And that waste so much time going down paths that's not for us.
Right. Because that's the frustrating part for me, is when you feel like you're doing everything right. You did the thing they told you to do. You went to college. You got the degree. You didn't smoke. You didn't drink. You did everything right. And for some reason, it's still not working. Like, what is this? It's because what's right for you, what's right for someone else, what's right for society as a whole, may not actually be what is right for you.
Yeah, and in the human design, so people may be listening like, how am I never hearing about human design before? How am I never hearing about human design? Like this stuff, what are y'all talking? Human design, I had a podcast earlier on in my podcast episodes about human design, and the person worked with Ra-Uru in Ibiza, and he said that a human design just came. This is a cosmic upgrade. Like we literally, like Ra-Uru got downloaded, like the spirits, the forces came over him and downloaded this information. Now people probably like, wait a minute, child. But what I'm trying to say is that, that you may not have heard about it because this new design has just come into play over the past couple of decades. And now with social media and all of the publications that we have out there, now we have the opportunity to kind of like push it out there and let the world know about human design. And I can say, because, from the proof is in the pudding with myself, honestly, once I understood my human design, the shift. The shift in the understanding and the self-love was able to get bigger, because I was able to accept who I am and not try to think should fall into someone else's category of what they think I should be. So, okay. So I hope everyone has an understanding about human design. And human design is deep. And that's why a reading is just so, so important, because if you go on the internet and get your reading, not your reading, but your graph, you're going to look at it and be like, what the hell is this? This is why, someone like Ebony would be, a perfect person to like take the information and be able to explain it to you in a very understandable way. But we're going to go over, the 5 energy, do we call it energy types?
Yeah, energy types.
The 5 different energy types. Like, what would we compare the 5 energy types to?
If we were going to compare the energy types, I would almost compare them to like career choices, like the like life purposes, really, or like a life purpose type categorization.
Yeah, life purpose categorization. Yeah, that's good. Life purpose categorization. So there's 5 different energy types, and then also once you know your energy type, that's just like the base, the root. But then once you look at the graph, you're going to see all these gates. You're going to see profiles, just like we're not going to even get into our profiles. Like you're a 3-5 and I'm a 2-4. So we're not even getting into that today. But I just want to keep it simple by going through the different energy types so you can learn what energy type you are start to have an understanding of what your energy type is. And because this podcast has been focusing on self-love and self-care, I wanted to break down what each energy type should do towards self-care. Because like for me, my stillness is great for me. I'm great being quiet, but my mother, her buzzing generator self, she likes to dance like you. She likes to move her body, and that's not necessarily self-care for me. So I'm not sure what you're going to say in reference to it, but I'm just looking at it from me and the people that's in my life, what self-care would look like for us, which is like almost completely different. Me being just sitting, because I can literally just sit down in stillness, just like this. And it's like, people like, are you okay? I'm good.
You mad? What's wrong with you? No.
Yeah, exactly. I'm good. Something happened to you? No, I'm good. And literally my body is recharging by me just sitting there with the blankness. Literally. It recharges me. So since I'm a projector, let's start off with the projector energy type.
Okay. So the projectors are essentially the guides of society. So my coach that I trained under, she actually calls the projectors key holders. Y'all have the keys to the doors that everyone is trying to open, right? The door to, what's the best way to create a business? What's the best way to do this? What is this? How do I do this? What's the secret for this? Y'all are able to see things, systems, people so clearly, then at times they are able to see themselves. And you can guide people to where they want to be because you see what they need, because you see so clearly what is actually going on and what do you need to shift, what do you need to do to change the situation into what you actually want it to look like. So projectors are the guides, they are the key holders. The thing about projectors is because you are the guides, you don't have that really sustainable energy to just keep going and going and going and working and working and working. That's going to burn you out really, really fast. So because you have this penetrating aura, you're very efficient. You can see the quickest, most efficient way to get from point A to point B. So you don't need 8 hours to do something. You could probably do it in 2 or 4, right? So that's a really special thing about projectors is your efficiency. It's your ability to see things so clearly. You're like, okay, do this, 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 and then you'll be fine, right? So those are the projectors. After projectors, you have manifestors. Manifestors are the cutting edge of the collective. They are the ones that are meant to get the things started. So the things that everyone is trying to do, the things that everyone is trying to, be a part of, the manifestors are the one who get those things started. They're connected to source. They are connected to the realm of infinite possibilities in a way that allows them to bring those things into fruition. They birth these movements and these businesses and these ideas into the physical world in a way that not everyone else is able to do. And they have this cyclical nature. So I have this idea, I have this urge. that I want to bring into the physical, that I want to bring to the collective, because I know this is going to push us forward. So they have the urge and they start to take action on it. They get into this nonverbal creative flow where they don't want anyone to speak to them because they just want to do this thing. Like, don't talk to me, don't text me, don't call me. I'm doing this thing. And then they move into the space of, okay, the energy is starting to go away. I need to look at who can I pass this on to? Who can I now trust that is going to take this thing that I've brought into the physical and build it up? Who's going to take it to that next level? Because guess what? It ain't going to be me, right? Yeah. So then they get to pass it on, and then they go into this space of reflection. We're not moving anymore. We're not really looking for urges or anything like that. We're just kind of reflecting on what has happened, what we created, right? And then they get to just do it all again. So that's the manifester cycle. And that's how they expand the collective, right? Which leads us into generators and manifesting generators. The generators and MGs are the builders. They are the ones who are going to take something and completely build it up. They're going to elevate it to get it to that next level because they have the energy to do it. Manifesting generators and generators have a defined sacral center, which when they are doing work that is satisfying, that is fulfilling to them, they just keep getting more and more and more and more energized, because that sacral center is like a battery. And the fuel is pleasure, it's joy, it's excitement. So a generator or a manifesting generator that's doing what they love can go all day, all night. They will forget to eat, they will forget to sleep, they will forget to take any breaks. They will sit in that chair or wherever it is that they're doing whatever they're doing, and they will do it for hours and hours and hours, which is why they're able to build these structures, build these businesses, even build up people, build these families, because it's energizing them in a way, again, that other energy types, projectors, manifestors, and reflectors, don't get to experience that energy in the same way that generators and manifesting generators do, because it's special to them. And with manifesting generators, you have a hybrid. So it's that manifestor cycle combined with the energy of a generator. So with manifesting generators, you have this cyclical nature combined with that energy. You've got this person who doesn't always need other people. So the manifesting generators are the one who want to do everything on their own. They want to build these amazing structures and things, but they don't really need other people, right? So it's a very independent type of building that's going on. And that's fairly unique to the manifesting generator. And then lastly, we have reflectors. Reflectors are the unicorn of the group because they are only 1% of the population. And the reason why there's only 1%, in my personal opinion, is because reflectors are absolutely so powerful. They are the judges. They are the karmic mirrors of society. And there's a few different things that reflectors are able to do. Number one, they're extremely unbiased. They are constantly taking in energy from the world around them, and they're able to make decisions, make judgment calls that are fair, that are unbiased, that are very diplomatic, because they see things exactly as they are. They're not being clouded by, their own energy or their own emotions or their own thoughts. No, they're seeing it exactly as it is, and they're telling you what it is, whether you like it or not. That's not my problem, right? I'm telling you what I see. Number two, they're almost, I don't want to say clairvoyant, I don't know if that's the right word, but because they're so open, they don't have any energy centers defined. Because they're so open, they sense very subtle energetic shifts. So they know when something is coming before it comes, because they can feel it. They feel the shift before it happens physically. So the reflectors are really like, if we keep going in this direction, like say we're all walking towards a cliff, the reflectors are like, if we keep going in this direction, we're all going to fall off the cliff. Maybe we should, turn. Maybe we should take a detour, not keep walking this way. Something just it's not going to be good, right? So that's another job of the reflectors, to let us know, hey, something's coming. We should probably shift, or like something needs to happen, because this is not good, right? And then the other job of the reflector is to reflect back to us, what is it that we are doing wrong, and what is it that we are actually doing well? Because when reflectors are in other people's energy, they can see, oh, this person's in alignment, or this person's not in alignment. This person is doing what they actually want to do, and this person is trying their hardest to just people please and make everyone else happy.
Yeah.
So they can tell us, hey, you should probably not do this. You should probably not do this. You probably do more of this. And then it's out of their hands. They're not like the projectors who are going to guide you and be like, hey, let me take your hand. Let me take you step by step and show you what to do. They're like, look, you can do it. You cannot do it.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
On you. On you. Once I walk out, my energy won't be feeling yours anymore.
Right. Because they're the mirrors. They're not, a mirror isn't going to tell you to change your outfit. The mirror is just going to show you what your outfit looks like and be like, you sure you want to go out looking like that? That's the look. Yeah. So yeah, those are all the energy checks.
Oh, you did an amazing job. I once heard a saying that about reflectors, since you just ended off on reflectors, they said if a person doesn't like a reflector, that means a person doesn't like themselves.
Oh, and that's
I remember hearing that before. There was like, which kind of sounds true, because the reflecting do never reflect what you were. So if you don't, you're like, I don't like her. Well, I guess you don't like yourself.
See me, I'm the one in the group would be like, why is that? What was it that felt triggering for you? I want to know. I'm gonna dig in. Like,
yeah,
really?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So thank you so much. Thank you for letting me know I'm the key holder. Thank you for letting the manifestor know that they are like on the cutting edge.
Yes.
And the generators and the manifesting generators have an understanding, yes, that you guys are the ones that's going to get the job done.
Period, honey.
Done. So, when I was getting my reading and he said, okay, the guy had told me, he said, there are two different, there's the energy and the non-energy. So, and I fall within the non-energy. Manifestors, projectors, and reflectors are non-energy sources because we don't have a defined sacral. So this goes into kind of like the self-care where we don't have a large source of energy. So you may see your coworker doing a jog, running over here, doing all the work and just being busy, and you're getting exhausted by even looking at them. And then we, as a projector or manifestor, we can beat ourselves up thinking we can't show up to the plate like they can show up to the plate, but that's not our job. So this is beautiful to have the understanding that, I'm meant to, share and guide you, but you go ahead and do all that work. You go ahead and build that wall, because I am not here for me. I'm not here for manual labor. And that's what he said. He was like, you were here for the manual labor. You was the manager. You the manager.
Yes, the supervisor.
Yes, he's like, you're not here for, I don't think he said manual labor, but he said, you're not here for the heavy lifting. He said, You're not here for the heavy lifting. You're here to guide and, and so on. And then also when I looked up like celebrities, because I was like, well, celebrities always seems to have so much energy, like Beyonce, like she's definitely a generator. Because in no way, I'm tired by just even watching her. But I was like, well, celebrities have this energy, they're performing on stage, like there could never be like not a manifestor, like a projector. So what celebrities are projectors? Okay, Nelson Mandela.
Yep.
Barack Obama. Leaders.
Big ones.
Leaders to guide. Leaders. So the focus is, focusing on like human design and and self-care. So I would love for you to kind of go down what self-care should look like for each type. So as a projector, what should like self-care look like for me?
For me, when we're talking about self-care in terms of energy types, I think the highest vibrational frequency we can embody is our signature theme. So each energy type has a signature theme. And for projectors, it is success. Number one, because projectors have a few other different pieces that the other energy types don't. But number one for projectors, I would say figuring out what does success mean for you? Because I think where we fall out of self-care is when we're chasing someone else's version of success, someone else's version of what does success look like.
Mm-hmm.
So the baseline for self-care for projectors, in my opinion, is figuring out what is your version.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that you are chasing? What does that highest level look like for you?
Mm.
And prioritizing that rather than, what society says or what your generator friends say. Like, no, what is your version of success? And then having a self-value practice is so important for projectors, because tied into that signature theme of success is this recognition piece. Because you know so much, because you are so wise, because you're the key holder, you have this innate desire to be recognized, to be recognized for your wisdom, to be recognized for your advice, to be recognized for just how valuable you are. And projectors can fall into this trap of only seeking external validation, which is not good, which is not great, because it's not sustainable, right?
Yeah.
So the highest form of self-care for projectors, in my opinion, is this constant self-value, this constant self-worth practice where you are coming in or writing down or speaking out loud or whatever it is. What are the things that make me valuable? What do I value about myself? Not what are the things that I worked really hard for, not what are the things that, I've learned how to do and I've gotten really good at. No, what are the things that you are just naturally good at, that you wake up every morning, you're just like, damn. There's projectors specifically, you have these zones of geniuses that just make you so powerful. And when you recognize that, when you value that, it opens you up to receive more recognition from the people around you. But that has to come from within first.
Wow.
To me, in my opinion.
That was really powerful what you said, because I can relate as a projector. And like I said before we even started this podcast, I'm like, I'm doing this for free, but it brings me, and I said, but it brings me so much joy. So, and that is success for me, doing what I find so much joy, where I feel like my husband, the generator, will be more from the place. Is it giving you money? Like, why are you wasting your time with this? Why are you wasting your time? It comes from that, but I'm like, that's not what it's about for me. It brings my heart so much fulfillment to show up in this way, to share this information, with the collective. And then when you said, it's not going to be sustainable to try to get the validation from the outside, I definitely, and I guess it was an innate thing, affirmations has been a huge part of I talk about my self-care journey. Like, I created an affirmation tea line. And, in my book, the second chapter is called Affirmations. And it's kind of all coming together, because a lot of times what we put out there is what we need for ourselves. And so I'm seeing how, I guess I innately was feeling the energy, like, okay, I'm not waiting for everybody else to show up for what I want them to, how I want them to show up for me. I'm going to show up for me in that way. So I can completely see that. And this was me listening to myself. That's why I showed up in that way. And so thank you for that, because then I'm just sharing my side of the story, because it's proof to show up in your way, because you can have the closest person to you saying, why are you wasting your time with this? Is it bringing any money in? And then you're like, oh, well, forget about your heart. I'm
about the money. I'm happy. I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. So that's
Exactly.
really good. So, this is for your projectors out there, I love that you definitely, I was almost thinking you was going to say, just make sure you rest and keep stillness, but to go, in the direction of your signature theme, thank you for that as well too, because you definitely, I was just assuming she was like, she's going to tell us to rest.
I mean, naps are good too.
Yes.
We love a nap.
Yeah. You need to rest too.
Yes, we all as humans now, don't get
Yeah.
it twisted. Generators and manifesting generators, listen to this. You still need sleep.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not telling you not to sleep now.
Yes.
Coming to me, talk about, you said I couldn't lie. I said
Mhm.
nothing of the sort.
Beautiful. So what is the next signature theme or next self-care ritual for the next person?
So the next type would be manifestors. The signature theme for manifestors is peace.
Peace.
So peace for manifestors comes when it's this feeling of everything is flowing.
Mhm.
Everything is working. The people around me understand me. They get me. The things that I'm doing, they're working. It's coming together the way that I wanted to. It's this feeling of, it's like it's working.
Yeah.
Everything's flowing. And that comes from awareness. To me, it comes from awareness. Because a manifestor who is not aware of what part of their cycle that they're in cannot be at peace. Because if you're meant to be in a reflection period and you are trying to, make something happen, that the cycle that the stage of the cycle that you're in and the stage of the cycle that you're trying to force yourself to be in are two different things.
Wow.
So if you're like, I want to get this thing done, I just want to bring this into, like, this is what I need to do right now, but your body's like, bro, can you relax? Can you just calm down?
Yeah.
Take a minute, take a breath. Can we just, can we reflect? Can we just talk about what went wrong on that last thing that we did? Can we celebrate what actually went well? Do we have to jump right into the next thing? Like, damn, I need a break, So for manifestors, self-care is having that awareness, really tapping into your body, tapping into your energy, and asking yourself, where am I in this cycle right now? Is there an urge right now? Is there something that's calling to me to be brought forth? Am I in a creative flow stage? Do I need to start delegating what I'm doing right now and handing things off? Or am I in a reflection stage? Is it time for me to slow down? Is it time for me to, journal and maybe do a little bit of breath work and reflect on what has happened, in the past or recently? Where am I right now? What does my energy need from me right now? Not what can I force my energy to do right now,
Wow.
right? Because you cannot force yourself into peace. That's not how it works. So for self-care for manifestors, it's having that awareness. Where are you right now? And be at peace with being in that stage. What peace can you find in that stage?
Okay, yeah. So even though you're known to be the creator and put the stuff out there, you have to also know that there are different stages of it. And there's a reflection stage, and don't force it.
Yes. That's what I see the most with my manifestor clients. They're like, I just want to do this thing. I'm like, okay, is that coming from your brain or is that coming from your body? Because your body kind of feels like it doesn't want to do that right now.
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like when you don't move in that direction, then you won't have success as well too, I'm assuming. Like I'm supposed to wait for the invitation. And if I'm forcing, going out there and not waiting for the invitation, I'm not necessarily going to have the success that I'm looking for, where a generator may have all the success. And I'm like being bitter, like, why are they doing the exact same thing I was doing? They just getting it. And I'm trying, because I'm not supposed to arrive in that way. I'm supposed to be me, do me, and then wait for the invitations to come in, instead of forcing invitations upon myself. So it's good to know with the reflector, as well, they have to listen and wait for their awareness in their body to know what direction they should be in. Reflection, creating what? Amazing. This is so, so, so good. So I guess the generators are next.
Yes. So self-care for generators and manifesting generators is, my answer will always and forever be something that brings you pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
Pleasure, excitement, joy, that really, I like to say sparkly, like that sparkly energy.
Yeah.
Because the thing that sets us apart as generators is our defined sacral center.
Mm-hmm.
So if that's our thing, if that is our superpower, you want that working at optimal level.
Yeah.
And the sacral center is a battery, but it's not recharged by, I want to say it's not recharged by sleep. It's recharged a little bit by sleep because, again, we are human. But what really gets your sacral center going is pleasure. It's joy. It's excitement. And this is what makes our aura enveloping. It's what sucks people and things and opportunities into us, is this magnetic energy coming from our sacral.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a generator who is stuck at a job that they hate, or they're not doing work that excites them or brings them pleasure, that sacral center gets drained, and it's not generating any more energy, because it generates energy through pleasure, through excitement, through joy.
Yeah.
So self-care when it comes to generators and manifesting generators is doing the thing that brings you pleasure, even if it's not the thing that makes you money. Like for me, I love to dance. I love massages. Listen, I get at least 2 massages a week.
Wow.
That fills my, listen,
Yes.
you rub down.
Yes.
Delicious food. Like, I love Indian food. That brings me joy. That brings me pleasure. Learning. I have so many certifications and so many things because I love to learn. I could sit here and learn all day long. That's part of how I got into human design, is that I sat down at my computer for like a day straight. I was just like learning all of the things.
Mm-hmm.
And that is recharging for me. So whenever generators and manifesting generators come to me and they're like, I'm so burned out, I have no energy, what do I do? What brings you pleasure? What is it? Go do it. Even if it's for 5 minutes, 2 minutes, 1 minute, 30 seconds. I don't care. Go do it. If it's your husband, go do it. If it's a walk on the beach, go do it.
Yeah.
If it's a delicious, ice cream, I love frozen yogurt, go do it. Go do it, and do it consistently. If you can, do it every day. Every day, do something that brings you pleasure, joy, or excitement. That's
beautiful. I'm loving that. So far, we went through 3 and nothing has to do with money. But this society has created everything around money.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy. So now we have been brainwashed to think if it's not about money, we can't show up for it.
Right. And it's like, what?
But yet, what's going to fill you up with energy, joy, and pleasure has nothing to do with money.
And most of the time, that's how it is. Like, of course, there's things that we would want to do that cost money. Like, I want to go to Disneyland. I plan on getting myself a Disneyland season pass. But are there other things that bring me joy and pleasure that I could do right now that are free? Absolutely.
Yeah. Exactly. Just dancing, turning the music on for you, and dancing is your joy.
Facts. Literally my nightly ritual.
Yeah. To also start to like put the conditioning to the side and just say, what's bringing me joy, instead of saying, I gotta be on that grind, no sleep, I gotta make it. And then, you're not being fulfilled, where you could just say, you know what? Oh, shoot, I like to dance. I should always dance as a little girl. Maybe I should just get up and just move my body, or whatever it may be. But okay, This is amazing. So you, the manifesting generator, what's your, or is it similar to the generator?
It's definitely similar. Like, and I've been very fortunate in the fact that I have the ability, because of my business, I have time freedom. I have money freedom. So I can get, 2 massages a week. If I decide that, hey, I'm going to get up and do this thing today, I can do that. I go for a walk on the beach every day. I don't live by the beach. I drive to the beach every day because I know that is something I can do. That's something I can start my day with. That is going to fill me up. It's going to recharge me. So when I'm going about my day and there's something that I don't necessarily want to do, but I have to, like cleaning my house, for example, I'm not coming from an empty battery because I've done all these things throughout my day, and I get to just ride. I get to ride that energy. And when I'm feeling low, I'm like, well, time for my massage.
Yes. Being aware as well. The awareness. So,
and then lastly, we have reflectors.
Did it change?
No.
Room they're in?
I just think that reflectors don't know. Reflectors don't understand how sensitive they are until they get into an environment that does not make them feel good. And so hilarious, because I have a sister who's a reflector, and she was living with me and my mom and my dad for a while. My mom and my dad, they used to fight. Like they used to fight. So I remember so vividly her not being comfortable in that environment. And at that time, I didn't understand why. I was a kid. She was, a young, like we thought it was like, oh, it's, it's obviously not a great environment in general, but she was so much more sensitive to it than I was because she's a reflector. So when we're talking about self-care for reflectors, it has everything to do with your environment. Your environment needs to feel good to you. That doesn't mean you have to live in the luxury apartment or be staying at these amazing hotels or, that's not what it means. It just means that wherever you are, you need to feel good, which means you have to go through, your associates, your friends with a fine-tooth comb. If there's someone in your circle who does not make you feel good, they gotta go. If there's something in your home that does not make you feel good, it's gotta go. If there are items of clothing, or if there's smells, or if there are things that are not aesthetically pleasing to you, it needs to go. Your environment, more than any other type in human design, you need to feel good wherever you are. It needs to feel expansive for you. It needs to feel welcoming and warm and supportive. Because so much of your wisdom, so much of your ability to reflect and to be open and to be sensitive and empathetic and open-minded comes from your environment. And when you're taking on things that don't feel good, when you're taking on energies that don't feel good, it weighs you down. It weighs you down, and it impacts your ability to be who you are. Like if you're all clogged up with everyone else's emotions and emotional turmoil and crises and baggage, how are you going to be empathetic? How are you going to reflect back to someone what they are searching for or what they need emotionally if you're carrying around everybody else's emotional stuff? You can't, there's no space. So for reflectors to create that space, you really have to cultivate your environment. That's your friends, that's your closet, that's your, I want to say your kids, but I want to say that. Wherever you are, it has to feel good. It has to feel good.
Wow. So the reflectors are hypersensitive, and they have to be mindful of that. You did such a wonderful job of breaking down the signature themes for each one, because, when we look on the internet or we're looking out there, like, what can I do for self-care? It's going to tell you to get the facial, the manicure. It's going to tell you to, exercise, and you could be doing everything that they're telling you. Go and journal, go and do this, go and do that. And you're doing it all, but like an example, like the reflectors, like I'm going to the gym, I'm writing in my journal, I'm having meditation, I'm doing this, but you are in a horrible environment. None
Coming
of that,
home to a dirty house.
yeah, it's never going to feel good for you.
Yeah.
You know, but so just being able to be aware of all of these signature themes for each person, where, you know, something that may work for someone else may not work for you because you are completely different. You are designed differently. So wow, this has been amazing. This has been such an amazing episode. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yay. So, you know, we definitely went through the guideline of what, you know, the way I wanted to go with the show. Human design is way deeper than what we just talked about, guys. Way, way deeper. You know, there's profiles, there's gates, there's all types of stuff. So, and just because I'm a projector and I'm with another projector doesn't mean we're the same person, because we may have different gates open and different profiles. We still may show up differently in this world. So that's why, you know, so you can't just be like, oh, I already know I'm a generator and this is the way I show up. Now, so this is where Ebony would come into play to kind of break down all of those details for you. But before we start to close out the show, is there anything you want to share with the collective that we kind of didn't touch base on today's episode?
I guess the big thing that I want to say is that, I guess it goes back to what I said at first, you're so powerful. And when you remember your power and you start to reclaim that, and you prioritize your pleasure, whatever that is, the freedom that you're craving, because I'm assuming people who are watching this, you know, the show or your podcast, they want freedom and they feel like they don't have it. So when you remember your power, you prioritize your pleasure, the freedom starts to come on its own. The path, the steps that you need to take, the correct steps for you, are going to reveal themselves. You're going to move closer and closer to what your perfect expression of freedom is, the more that you remember who you are, claim that unapologetically, and you prioritize feeling good now.
Exactly. So powerful to understand your power. So yeah, so you know, you got to share your details, because I know everybody's going to get a human design reading, because
and they're my favorite thing
needs to.
They're my favorite thing to do. Like, I love looking at people's charts and just connecting with people and telling them how amazing they are and how much power they have. Like, that's literally so much of what my readings are. It's just me like, oh my God, you're so amazing. Like, you can do this, you can do this, and you have this time. Like, it's, oh my God, you're so great. It's, I fangirl over people's human design.
That brings you joy. That's a part of your self-care.
It does.
Like, I'm on this podcast, brings me joy.
Yes. So I have a YouTube channel, Human Design with Ebony. Is my YouTube channel. I also have an Instagram, which is Design with Ebony. So just Design with Ebony on Instagram, Design with Ebony on TikTok, and then Human Design with Ebony on YouTube. So, and then I have all the information for my readings and any other self-study course that I have. They're all on my YouTube and my Instagram.
Beautiful, beautiful. So I have to ask every guest this last question. I actually have a t-shirt on. Still working through this, but it says, what does becoming unique mean to you?
Becoming unique mean to me? I think it means living authentically, not changing yourself, not watering yourself down, not feeling shame for who you are and what you know that you're meant to do here. Living in your purpose.
Beautiful. Like, this is so on point, and it goes right together with everything that you spoke about today. So it's all intertwined with each other. A movie clip that keeps popping in my mind ever since like I've been on my little becoming unique journey is what is it? The Last Dragon. I don't know if you know what movie I'm talking about. It's from like my childhood, but my childhood is way before yours. And and in the movie, the boy, I feel like I need to see this movie because I haven't seen it in a couple of decades. He goes through the journey. He's like a kung fu, like, does kung fu, and then he tells his this trainer, like, when do I meet the master? And or whatever the case is, he's trying to, figure it out. And he's like, it's in you, all this type of stuff. And so not into the very last scene, he's fighting, and the guy that's fighting him, and it was like, who's your master? And they say, stay sure enough. A movie I'm talking about now? Or no?
No.
Yeah, so then he's like, the guy, he's fighting him because the guy got all this confidence. He's fighting him, he's putting his head in water, and he just wants him to claim that he's the master. He was like, say I'm your master. Who's your master? And as his head's going in the water, he's getting all the reflections. Someone like this girl says to him, well, you sure look like a master to me. And like the Kung Fu master, like saying those hints, like it's in you and stuff like that. And then when the last time he puts his head in the water, it's like, now I'm getting like chills. And he's like, who's your master? He looked at him in the eye and said, I am. And then his power activated. Then he started fighting the guy, and he's winning the fight now because now he was able to recognize that he was all along the master. He was waiting for other people to tell him who's the master, but he was the master. And then that's when he won the battle, with the last scene of the fight scene, because he claimed his power where the other guy was winning because he was like, I'm the master. Tell me I'm your master.
Right.
So that movie keeps coming to my mind all the time. And I'm like, we are all our masters. Yes. We are the master. So thank you. You are nothing but amazingness.
Thank you. Thank you for having me so much. This is so, I love talking about human design. I love conversations like this.
No, you're welcome.